Good evening and welcome to Gaming with Scott presents Behind the Masks, a Southgate media production. In this series, our heroes remove their masks so that you, the listener, can learn more about the player behind the character. We discuss topics of interest and encourage our players to go off the rails and down the rabbit hole. We hope this helps our audience get to know us better. Discussions and insights begin just after this music. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gaming with Scott. I am here with Rico.
Yo.
JC.
What's up?
And, pardon me while I clear my voice, Christian Doyle.
That's right. How you doing?
JC, tell us about... So JC was the man that got this interview for us, and we're very pleased and happy. Walk us through the day in the life of this particular interview.
Yeah, set it up. How did you bag this for us?
Well, every year at Gencon, the highlight of my con is Gamers Live, and it's something that, while I don't think Christian set it up from the get-go, he's kind of
I did. I actually created Gamers Live.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Boom.
He's definitely the point man on it, and does it every year. And it's basically there's an ongoing story, and it's improv theater. Kind of a
completely unscripted.
Correct. Kind of like a nerd version of Whose Line Is It Anyway, basically, if people don't know.
Why do I not know about this?
It's actually one of the biggest attended events at Gen Con every year for the last 4 years.
Because I live under a rock. That is why.
Correct.
Carry on.
And, I go to it every year, and this year, I missed Gen Con last year. We've been doing the podcast for 2 years. This year, I was going by, and Christian is always really cool about coming out and making himself available to the fans. And
it's the most important part of my job.
Absolutely. And I was going across, and I saw him, and I shook his hand because he was coming out, and I was coming in. He kind of turned around, and I was like, hi, and I just shook his hand, and then I walked past him, and then inside I was like, get an interview, do it. Just turn around and get an interview. So I turned around, and he was coming back my way. He comes up, he says, because I stick my hand out because I'm nervous, he goes, we're shaking again?
Nice.
But ever since then, every time I see him, I shake his hand twice.
That's a thing now. All
Yeah.
right.
You have an inside joke with Christian Doyle?
That's right.
I do.
Are you
I do.
kidding? Get out of here. I can't be on this podcast anymore.
So
here's your real co-host.
So yeah, exactly. Right now I'm gonna have to make another
Gaming with JC.
Gaming with JC.
We're
I'm gonna
gonna
have to
need a third
scratch this
title
out
card.
again and make more art.
That'll go over well in Indiana just because people think it'll stand for Jesus Christ.
Nice. Oh, we are square in the middle of the Bible Belt. It's a disaster.
I know.
So glad I don't live here.
Yeah,
That's
it's a disaster.
That's a thing.
Yeah, no.
The JC angle from that I had not.
It
Thank you for that.
might
We're gonna
have
take
been
that.
deliberate, but
Yeah, there's a thing. No, because all right. Well, now we're going to talk Gen Con a little because of there was the RFRA thing because we live in the middle of here, and that was like the religious freedom thing. And Gen Con said we're leaving.
Yep.
If you're going to be
I almost didn't come last
complete
year.
assholes about this, we're not doing
Yeah.
this.
But you know what? The mayor of Indianapolis was a mensch, honestly.
Yes.
He went and he did the right thing, and he...
Exactly.
And
As
he's-
opposed to the governor, which I'm not trying to be political here. I'm just saying that I was unhappy, and there are signs.
Yep.
There are sounds in Indiana that says
Pence is a dick.
Pence must go.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't mean to the White House. That was
No,
not our.
no,
we
that
didn't-
was not-
That was not the
plan.
plan.
That was
I'm
not
not
what
trying
we
to.
meant.
I did not mean to hijack. I'm
No,
just.
no,
I'm
this is-
okay because he was giving me the. I had other things because here's what he told me. So this is about. He told me last year, Gamers Live. He said we're setting up interviews and we're doing a thing and I'm like, Josh, I need you on the mic and I need you to bring me people and I need you to work the floor and I need you to do these things. And he looked at me and went, Scott, Gamers Live, I did not get to go last year. If I don't get to go to this, I will kill you. And I went, oh. And I went, so we're going to pencil in this time for Josh. JC's going to go over here and do his thing, right? We're going to block that out and go right there. That's what you said.
Actually, it was a hell of a show on Friday.
So is
really
it is it an interactive thing? Is it you guys on the stage?
It's very interactive. The idea is we play. All of us who are actors, we play the same characters that we play in the movies. Mm-hmm. So I play Gary from Darkness Rising.
Nice.
And the last 3 years, I've been the game master, and Lodge, the guy who plays the game master in the movies, has been a player in my group.
Okay, fantastic.
And he's
gone, and it goes downhill or uphill or sideways from there.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
The idea is, I mess with Lodge so much during the game that he has to mess with me back.
Nice.
This year, the guy who plays Lodge was not even there.
Okay.
We brought in the people that we had last year and the people the year before that. Chris Odie, who's one of our producers, who's actually one of the stars of Attacking the Darkness,
Right.
which was a completely improvised feature film that just came out this week.
Entirely
that's
improv?
fantastic.
Entirely improvised, yes.
Wow. Oh,
We,
that's so much fun.
And we filmed it on the set of Dark Dungeons. So Chris Odie was like the guy I wanted to start the improv group with when we decided to stop doing Just Gamers Live and start doing a real improv group.
Troop, yeah.
Like a real improv
Oh,
troupe.
that's great. That is fantastic.
And
All right.
Maggie Ferguson Wagstaff, who is also my girlfriend now.
Oh, there you go. Yay.
Nice.
How you doing, Maggie?
We worked together for years, and now all of a sudden, like we can't not be around each other. So we figured it was the natural step. She plays a character named Charlie, and she's kind of the girl gamer in that particular group. And she was so popular with the fans the first 2 years that when they made Gamers the series, the Kickstarter that we just ran, that was actually just passed through and is successful.
Yes,
Hey,
you funded.
congratulations.
Yeah, we funded.
Nice.
It's amazing.
That bitch is funded.
Yeah, that's true. Maggie
Yay.
is actually playing Charlie in Gamers the series, and she's the player that plays New Moon the elf, who's the original,
Nice.
Yeah.
Nathan Rice character from the very
Right.
first Gamers
Yep.
movie.
Oh, that's
So I'm super
fantastic.
jealous of her right
Right?
now. But she earned it. She was
That
so
is
good.
fantastic.
Like
That is
we took a
awesome.
character that only existed in an improv show as kind of a foil to Gary into being a full-fledged Gamers canon character.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool.
I'm really proud of that.
That's awesome. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't go.
Just stop apologizing. This is
come.
just conversation. man.
I'm
Just
having fanboy now. Okay,
act like you've been here before, Scott.
but I've not been here before.
So you mentioned
So
that
go ahead.
you just had a new release that dropped this week. Did you premiere it here at Gen Con at all during the film festival?
Yes, it is. It's part of the film festival. We premiered it on Thursday night to a wonderful, wonderful audience who responded very well to it.
Excellent.
I'm particularly proud of it because I wrote and directed.
Right.
And it was my first directing job.
Ooh, nice.
And,
Congratulations.
yeah.
Are you happy to get over that hump now that you've directed one? Do you feel like you can direct more?
In fact, they liked the movie so much, the producers, the people at Zoe liked the movie enough to where when Matt Vancel was unable to do Journey Quest 3, he specifically asked me to direct it for him.
Nice. So not only are you a first-time director, but you're such an impressive first-time director. You're going to have to...
that I'm now a second-time director.
Yeah, you're
'cause
going to be a
Journey Quest
second
is-
time.
Journey
Yeah.
Quest is in the can, man.
Oh, nice. Nice.
We shot it in the spring, 15 Days of Hell, best 15 Days of Hell of my
Wow,
life.
congratulations.
Fantastic.
That is amazingly successful. That is fantastic to hear.
We raised $426,000 for it.
Wow.
And,
What were you guys trying to achieve?
420.
420?
Yeah.
No reason.
Yeah.
So
We
got
are from
that.
Washington State.
No, I'm jealous. I can't blame you.
Yeah, and it was a lot of fun, but directing with a 40-person crew and a 60-person cast is a lot different than directing with a 5-person crew. So it was much bigger in scope, and if I hadn't had really good people and a really amazing crew, I wouldn't have known what the hell I was doing.
Would it have been 25 days of hell instead of 15, or would it have been just
no, we would have
just on fire and
we
melt?
didn't have the money for 25 days. We had the money for exactly 15 days.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So it would have
15
been melt,
days of paying
implode.
everybody the same amount of money
Yeah.
and getting as much of the movie shot as we possibly could.
Nice. Okay.
So it was planned out very well, and I had a great crew, so that helped a lot. Let's hope it looks good.
And that's part of what we were talking about outside, but I wanted to bring it to the audience's attention, which is just you guys pull off miracles. I mean, when you look at the finished product versus the Kickstarter targets, what's the magic there? What's the mojo? How do you guys pull off full value production with a
limited
quarter
budget?
value budget?
With what by Hollywood standards, what would be considered enough to buy maybe props for one scene.
Right.
Yeah. So how do you guys roll, that type of budget constraint into the
Are
quality?
you alchemists? Are you from Narnia? What's happening?
No, man. Frankly,
necromancers?
we've been doing this since 2000. Those guys made the first Demon Hunters movie in 1999, followed it up with Demon Hunters 2, Dead Camper Lake, and then in 2000, The Gamers dropped.
Right.
They made that for $500 over one weekend, and it looks like they made it for $500
No
over one weekend.
way. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it looks bad. It does.
Well,
it's not a great looking film. We didn't have a great camera for it, but it's still one of my favorite movies ever.
But it's so good.
Exactly.
And you're in.
And people at Gen Con, we brought it to Gen Con, brought it to the film festival, and it was so well received. We sold 10,000 units in that one weekend,
Wow, nice.
and people begged. You know how internet
Oh, yeah.
you know how internet people are. Yeah. When are we getting Gamers 2? When are we getting Gamers 2? When are we getting Gamers 2? Over and over again for years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
you're
left
one
it
of those
open for
people.
a sequel.
Guy's one of them.
Yeah.
true.
So to pivot on this, and this is not Echo. Funny, I should say that. So we went over and just saw another screening that we just had an interview with the three starlets and the director of the Submerged series, and he was interrupted in his first one, so it was like a to be continued ... And then they had the second segment, and then they had finally released the
Second
what's
feature.
actually the second feature
The second
for that.
feature, yeah.
But you could see the first one it didn't look good. I mean, it didn't look good in the standpoint of it was almost grade B, campy. We wanted a rocket ship from a string kind of thing,
Right.
But it was. He and I both laughed at a really inappropriate moment when it was probably something we shouldn't. But it was that, and I had that exact feeling like gamers. This is the kind of thing that, yes, when you saw it, it went okay. You can look at it and say it didn't look good, but God, it was good.
Yeah.
That thing.
That's how I feel about Gamers. I watched that movie on VHS over and over again. This is before I was involved with the Dead Gentleman. Keep in mind,
Right, okay.
Like I'm the guy who was a fan, who magically saw an audition notice at the back door of the theater that I had done a play in. It was my first play in 5 years, and I'd quit doing theater. I'd quit doing comedy. I'd quit doing improv. And decided to get married and wear a suit and tie every day and go to a real job and do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I lost my real job, so I had time to do a play. And,
Right on.
and the closing day of this play, there's a notice on the back door of the theater that says auditions for Gamers 2, and I lost my shit.
Yeah.
So me and another guy that were in the play, we're like, oh yeah, we're going to that. He gave me a ride. We went to this audition together, an audition for the play. We both got parts. The guy who I met in the play was actually Scott C. Brown,
Oh, nice.
who ended up playing Leo.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The bard that everybody loves.
Bard. Yeah.
in Darkness Rising. And I got the part, obviously.
Yeah,
because I looked
naturally.
and the way I got the part was funny because I was funny during my audition, and they liked that. And Matt Vancel knew me because we had done improv years before.
Okay.
But the way I actually got the part was they brought me in for a callback. They had me stand up against the wall. They brought in Jen Page, who plays the female Luster. Stood her next to me, had our heads together, and Matt just looked at us and pointed at both of our heads and went, "See, you see that? You see?" And that's how I got the part.
Boom.
Nice.
That's fantastic.
And they've had their claws in me ever since.
You can't get out.
And that's
No,
that's-
I've been working with Dead Gentlemen and Zombie Orpheus Entertainment now for 12 years.
cough, 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 and that's so terrible. We feel for you. Smallest violin.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
No,
right.
no,
Okay.
that wasn't a complaint.
I
That
know.
was-
No, I'm poking
so
at
proud.
you now. I'm poking at you now.
But
And we are the ones that get the benefit from that.
right.
Is what we're saying.
The reason Dorkness looks good is because nobody got paid.
Okay.
The reason Journey Quest looks good
Yeah.
is because nobody got paid.
It was all budgeted to the movie and the effects of the movie.
The people who made Journey Quest, the crew, the cast, everybody, had an agreement that if Journey Quest 2 got made, we would all get paid.
Right on.
But we did it because we loved it.
Right.
And it was great.
Yeah.
So when Journey Quest 2 came out, all of a sudden we get a paycheck. I mean, it's not huge. It's not.
Right.
It's a little tiny paycheck, but
But it's a paycheck.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, then I got to ask you this because I don't know your current situation, but I know the struggle is real, and I know at
Yeah.
one point you were making movies with no car. I mean,
yeah.
what is it? I know there's got to be days where you wake up and go, "What am I doing?" Like, what is it that keeps you going and keeps you getting out there?
I am tenacious to the point of insanity. I can't really put it any other way.
Where does that come from? Because
my whole life I did what people wanted me to do, what I was expected to do,
right, as we all do and should,
as we all
right?
do.
Yeah.
And one day I quit. One day I said, my life is not going to last forever. I'm good at this.
Right on.
I can do this. And I'm not going to settle for doing anything else anymore.
Fantastic.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
So I quit my job at the coffee shop, and I started auditioning for things. I mean, at that point, I'd already done 2 movies. I was, basically nerd famous. People
Which
wanted me to
We
work for them.
call it nerd royalty.
Don't underestimate nerd fame, by the way.
I don't.
Yes.
It's gotten me laid more times than I can
oh,
count.
absolutely.
I'm not at the Poontani level, but I'm getting swag.
Right. Oh, no.
Right. Yeah.
Swag was, actually, the free swag was how I figured out I could get laid.
What?
What did he
Oh.
just say? Wait, carry the one. What? Okay, moving on. Yeah. All right. And okay. And this is a conversation that we've had, and 2 or 3 times just at this Gen Con. The idea of, okay, do you want this or this? put your hands together. Like, you can have the whole thing. Why don't you do that?
I could have money or I could have fame. That was my choice.
There it is.
And I would rather be remembered than rich.
Always.
That's pretty profound.
I'd like to just share a little something with you real quick, because it's kind of why I approached you for the interview in the first place. Just something I wanted to say real quick, which is, there was a point in my life where I saw the gamers and I got really hyped about what you guys were doing, and I had gone out for this little community audition, but the casting director was kind of like not vibing with their work and the career, kind of drinking a little bit, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, no, I've worked with casting directors just like that.
But she had looked at me. I went out there and I was really scared, and I'm an amateur and I did my audition. But she kind of made this joke. She says, you're bald, you're snaggletooth, and you're fat. I can't even cast you as a crackhead. And she thought it was funny. And those words were like devastating. And I went back home, and then I looked at the things I was writing, and it looked like crap on the page, and I'd gone to the Gencon, and I was really struggling just with my life. And what it was is you were out talking to some other actors, not Zoe people. They were people at the con, and you guys were talking. And I don't remember the exact context of the conversation. Remember they were giving you professional advice, and you were saying, "Okay, I'll do that." And then they were saying, you got to go and you got to branch out from that Zoe or something like that. And I remember you said, with this real conviction, you said, "Nah, man, I'm right where I want to be."
Yeah, it's true.
And that, because what you didn't even know I was listening, but what it did for me, man, was it opened my eyes to, hey, I don't care if I'm good at it. Art is who I am.
Yeah. And
I'm going to be me, or I'm going to be nobody. And that's how I took my face for radio, and I jumped on this podcast, and we've been killing it ever since.
Damn straight. The thing is, I feel like I'm where I want to be because I'm making movies for the people who want to see those movies. Yeah. I'm not making movies for Hollywood. I'm not making Journey Quest to sell to sci-fi.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, we're going to try anyway.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. That's a thing. We're going to be like, hey.
But I'm making movies for the people who want to see them.
Exactly.
They like what I do, so I make movies for them. And
yeah, and
luckily,
we want to see them.
Yeah, and luckily, like Attacking the Darkness, which again, just came out, I had no reason. There was no reason that movie should have been made. Okay, like. I
sure.
Me and Andy Doporowski, who's one of our producers and one of our great camera guys, and just a wonderful all around film guru. We were talking when we were filming Natural One up in Canada, up in Guelph, and we were at the only bar
Guelph.
that was
that's awesome name.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
We were at the only bar that was open, and we were drinking, and we said. We were talking about the Dark Dungeons, because the chick track.
Right.
Because we found out we might be able to make that movie, which
Nice.
we eventually did.
Nice.
And we're like, God, wouldn't it be funny if we did like a making of that movie with like a Christian couple who was doing it? And we told Ben about it. We were just jokingly, and he's like, yeah, let's do it.
Let's do that.
Yeah, I love this idea. Will you direct it? And I'm like, yeah, no problem.
Done. Pencil me in.
Yeah, and he let us do it. Like, the only reason I am where I am right now as far as what I'm able to do is because those guys that I've been loyal to believed that I could do more.
Right on.
They're going to take those risks because of your loyalty and how good you've been to them. They're going to reciprocate.
And I'm getting the eye love that says that when they give you that opportunity, that you're going to look at it and go, I'm not going to let that fail. We're going to do that, and we're going to grab it by the throat and kick it down a flight of stairs.
You have brought us some amazing moments in entertainment, man. Look, the world out here, it keeps getting shittier and shittier day by day. We keep working harder, making less. And the simple fact is, Zoe, this podcast, my tabletop, that's what I got, man. And I hope you guys understand in your hard moments that it makes a difference, and it means a lot to me. I mean, it means a lot to all of us.
That's exactly why I do it. Like, the reason that I treat the fans the way I do is because they really are the most important part of what I do. I take the time to talk to everybody. I make sure I shake hands. If they want a picture, they want an autograph, they can absolutely have it. I'm not going to charge you. That's not how we roll. Yeah. We are here because we are gamers. We are fans. We are nerds, and we are proud of it, man.
Yeah. Live it, love it.
Yeah, it's our life.
Yeah, it is.
And now that we're on this deep vibe, I have to ask you my bucket list question.
All right, let's do this.
How did it feel to bushwhack Lincoln?
You have no idea, dude. It was totally bushwhacked Lincoln. Recognize.
Just asking for it in that top hat, was he?
Oh, yeah, man. Waffle's a shame for that. Just kidding. I'm actually, in real life, a big Lincoln fan. He gave great speeches and also freed the slaves. So
Right. Yeah, that's a good thing.
For me to talk shit about that would be really,
that would
really
be
bad.
wrong.
Yeah, that would be super wrong.
However, that being said,
That was Gary, not me.
right. That was
Right,
Gary.
right,
There it is.
I've been playing Gary for 12 years, so I can switch in and out of it real easy at this
Boom,
point.
right there. That is fantastic.
Do you ever get tired of granting people the level of access that you grant them, even though you love the work that you do and you love them? Does it ever wear on you that, I've got to take another picture or I've got to go do another thing?
It's never the pictures or the hugs or the autographs that bother me. It's the conversations about their characters and their character sheets.
Oh, God.
Because they all want to tell me how like they made they made a wizard based on my character. And I think that's really great that people that are making characters.
Right. Like you have to get that all the time.
The weirdest part of the fandom for me was when they started cosplaying me.
Oh, wow.
What?
When they started
Okay, so
emulating
this has
you're
not-
not
I have
talking
not-
about,
character.
you're not talking about one of your characters. You're talking about like cosplaying you?
Yeah, no, okay. There's people who've cosplayed Perf, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, there's people who've cosplayed Luster a lot,
Right.
both
Okay.
male and female.
Right.
Nice. Nice.
And yesterday,
And I was just because you could gender bend that, and it's not gender bending.
no, because it's the exact
Right.
same thing. And frankly, I look fantastic in a dress. But
There are so many sound bites coming out of this. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yesterday at Gamers Live, there was not only a Perf and a Luster, there was also like Fastidian, who was the character I played at the beginning of
Yeah.
Darkness Rising that died right away.
Right.
And
And now you're bringing a new character.
Right. And there were two Garys.
Wow.
Two guys dressed, or two people, sorry, one was a guy, one was a girl, maybe both of them were girls, who could tell,
Right.
that were dressed like Gary from Gamers 3. You know, like they had the shirt on and the
Wow.
and the jacket, and they had Chibi-chan heads.
Chibi-chan.
Don't do that. I will.
That's
You
serious.
aren't close enough for me to hit you.
Spider Monkey.
He'll end you, bro.
The thing is, I trained myself to hate Chibi-chan from the first time I read the script.
Wow.
And just looking at him still makes me mad. When I sign Gamers 3 DVDs, I always sign my name over Chibi-chan's stupid. Sorry about the.
No, it's
There was
okay, man.
somebody in
Sorry
the
about
audience.
I already
last
got to
night.
do it once. We're good.
There was
We're
somebody
good.
with a chibi head in the audience. He walks
It's
up
really the
and he
close-
goes, "Are you kidding me? Seriously?"
It's the closest thing I've ever done to method acting.
Nice. This is absolutely fantastic. It's one of the best interviews we've had ever. So no. So I want to follow that
Oh,
up
okay, go
because he asked, like, okay, do you ever? Does it ever wear on you? Does it ever get down? Does it ever get?
Honestly, no, because I love them,
Right.
and the thing about our people is that we are generally socially awkward.
Usually.
I am terrible around people. I'm terrible around people, but I'm great in front of them.
Isn't that weird how that works? Though?
Wait
Yeah.
a minute. See, there's a real Zen thing in there. We're gonna have to.
If I ever considered myself to have one talent, I can work a crowd.
Yeah. Hey. I'm the ringleader. I mean, I'm the Barnum and Bailey.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, and that's a thing.
Yeah, that's where I live, and but I still, like, you put me in a party situation, and I'm the guy in the corner drinking by himself.
Yeah, going. I don't know where this is at.
So when I go to Gen Con, I put on, or when I go to any convention, really,
Right.
I have this mask that I put on that's kind of half Gary.
Yeah.
Where like I wear sunglasses and wear my pajamas and just I'm a badass. I'm a rock star. I'm a movie star, and nothing can stop me. And I have to play this character the whole time just to be able to be around that number of people.
Yeah,
I'm horrible with
tens of
people.
thousands of people.
But I'm great in front of people.
Yeah.
So do that. That's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I like
And
that.
I never
We're
like,
doing that.
Yeah, my first Gen Con, I was a mess. Like I was
Yeah.
having panic attacks. There were so many people. Nobody had seen the movie yet. They were going to see it that night. I was losing my mind. And Brian Lewis, his wife, came to the con that year, and she's a good friend of ours too. And she gave me that advice. She's like, "Hey, look, just be somebody else. nobody does that better than you anyway. So just be somebody else.
Play your character.
Yeah.
You pick whatever the character is you want for the con. And
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be one you've already done. Play your character.
Yeah, no, and my character was Christian Doyle. Christian Doyle, the movie star.
Boom.
And
That's fantastic.
Tell you what, it's an impressive character. Not gonna lie.
But lately, we should segue here. It's been Christian Doyle, the director. So
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I've actually managed to get a lot more real over the years. That was 2006, and now I come to Gen Con and I can pretty much just be me.
Is it full on adulting yet?
No, man. I'm
Okay,
never.
good. Well, I had to ask.
Do you know
Somebody's going to ask.
Okay, most people have day jobs. Do you know what I do during the day?
I don't want to know, but go ahead. Yeah, tell
I do.
us.
I want to know.
I play Xbox. I smoke a lot of weed. I mean, a lot.
I mean,
I mean a lot, like epic.
And when the
levels.
sun goes down, if I'm not in a show or if I'm not in a play or if I'm not doing a movie, I write. I mean,
do you still smoke a lot of weed while you're right?
I stop smoking weed 2 hours before I start writing.
Oh,
I can't.
That's a good
Brilliant, yeah.
buffer
It's-
there.
it's-
I
'cause-
like what you're doing here.
Yeah, because I lose focus otherwise.
Gotcha. Okay, that
Right
makes
on.
sense.
Fantastic. So I'm gonna loop back to one because he said, "Does it ever wear you down?" Et cetera, et cetera. You made a statement. Well, we were with him, and he's a great director, and he's a great cameraman. And when you have, again, we talked about scale of budget when you're doing these types of things. There have to be men of many hats. In other words, you're doing this, you're doing that. He's the guy that mows the lawn on the set because it had to be done, and everybody else.
The thing
pay
is,
these
we
things.
have all those people, and some of those people were new, but the key people that we picked were professionals, award-winning professionals that knew exactly what they were doing.
And there it is.
That makes all
Our
the
assistant
difference.
director, Tony Becerra, is one of the best assistant directors, one of the best ADs you're going to find in the Pacific Northwest. He works on everything. He knows everyone. Our director of photography, Jeremy Mackey, we flew him in from Singapore.
That's a name I'm familiar with.
Nice.
Yeah.
We flew him in from Singapore because, frankly, nobody is better at what he does. Like he's.
Wow.
That's awesome.
He's a good guy, and he talked on the phone with me for weeks about what we were going to do. He flew in 2 weeks early, spent time like living at my house, and us talking about how we were going to shoot this movie and make it work.
Nice.
And
okay.
he's brilliant.
Because what I was going to ask is, does the many hats wear you down? If it's not the fans, if it's not, is it the many hats? Is it the
Directing Journey Quest? Like I said, 15 Days of Hell.
50 Days of Hell?
And
there it is.
the reason for that is the many hats for me. Because on one hand, I'm the director. I got to make sure the crew is doing what I need them to do. I got to make sure that the shot looks good.
Yeah, the shot's
Right.
got to line up.
On the other hand, I'm the main character of the series.
Right.
And I've got to make this crew of 40 professional filmmakers take me seriously while I'm wearing a big floppy yellow hat,
Yeah.
which is harder than you might think.
I can see that might be a struggle.
So
I'm
anytime
dying over here
little-
just thinking of
Yeah.
director trying to give direction in a big floppy yellow.
well, I
Between
like,
scenes.
and when I'm working with the actors, like all the actors on the show know me because I've worked with them because
Yeah,
they've been on the show with me for 6 years,
Sure.
and we're friends. So when I give them a direction, they trust me,
Yeah, they follow
Nice.
it.
and it was easy to direct the actors because they trusted me.
There it is. That's awesome.
The crew's a different story. The crew,
The crew is.
the crew is
And
all,
then, so I'm thinking, I'm in this good place. I'm like, wow, trust with the actors.
The crew
and,
kind
everything.
of-
and then in a heartbeat, he goes, the crew. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, the crew was a different story just because they were always worried they were going to get in trouble. Because they've worked with so many other directors on so many other films
right.
that are like yelling and chair throwing, and I never yell, and I never throw things. You know, I have Tony yell for me
Oh,
because that's what he's good at. And then I had Vanessa, who's our second on set, to kind of temper Tony.
nice.
You know, make the actors feel better, even though there's a guy, you know, an angry Mexican just scaring the shit out of everyone.
Nice.
But yeah, it's different. They kind of looked at me as like a dad by like the fifth day because I never yelled, but if I was angry about something, I would give them this look.
I'll call Tony over here.
You were like,
Not even that. Like I was just like they were so worried about disappointing me because they didn't know.
That's
They weren't
nice.
sure when I was going to blow up.
Yeah.
nice.
That's one of those. I'm not mad at you. I'm just very disappointed in you, and that stings so much more.
And I got a 10-year-old girl, so I know how to do a dad voice real well.
Nice. That's
And
fantastic.
I've got the look nailed.
That's fantastic.
So I have to ask, and I have to be that kind of obnoxious fan.
Don't worry about it.
I know you just got done with something, so you had me at Stones of Chance. Do we have any plans for Humans and Households?
I happen to know unofficially that there is a sequel to Humans and Households in the work.
Oh,
yeah.
we that may or may not have heard some good news.
But it's all speculation at this point.
Right.
Like I believe it in my heart that that's happening,
Right.
but I don't know for sure. But I do know the guy who's working on it, and he says he's working on it, so I believe him.
I understand that.
Oh gosh, darn it!
Nice.
That's
I just can't
the
wait to see what
best
happens
answer.
when this guy comes back to his house. You kicked in my door. My dog's dead. What the hell?
People always get so upset when the dog dies.
Yeah.
I've watched like 6 screenings of that with audiences, and they're all like, "Oh." Nobody likes it. You never kill the dog in the movie.
Yeah.
Ever.
No.
It's like
That was a full
You-
plot
you-
in Seven Psychopaths.
Yeah.
Like, don't kill the dog.
you can kill the kid before you kill the dog.
Agreed. Don't kill the dog.
Don't kill the dog.
Yeah. And that's a thing.
Man of Steel, don't kill the dog.
Don't kill the dog. Right. Exactly.
Kill Kevin Costner, don't kill the dog.
I'm not going to comment. Kevin Costner might listen to this someday. No, I'm just kidding.
He was excellent in that movie, and anybody who says otherwise is stupid.
There it is.
I agree.
He's moving to Indiana. Anyway.
He belongs here. Field of Dreams, buddy.
Oh, God, I've got to get out west.
Hey, come out and visit, man.
Seriously,
We've
Washington.
got way more than corn.
They've got.
I drove from Michigan down here because we were up visiting some family
Yeah.
at Lake Michigan, and there is nothing but goddamn corn everywhere.
Yeah.
There is.
I mean, nobody's going to go hungry, which I think is great,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Well, there's that.
it's like just corn and racists. And then you get to Indianapolis, and it's like this.
Whoa. We have bigots,
No,
too. Thank
I'm
you.
sorry.
No, and then he said, and then you get to
And then you get to
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis, and
Say.
Indianapolis is so multicultural and
Yeah.
so.
This is the one blue
It's
haven
like
in
it's
the
like a
red state.
metropolis in the middle of this farm
Yeah.
that never stops. And I love farmers. I love the farming community. Don't get me wrong, but their idea of what happens here in the real world, where the business happens, is completely skewed, and that's why we have so many Trump supporters.
So what do you have going on in your downtime now? You just finished a movie. You just
Yep.
released
Well,
a
I
movie.
mean, I finished filming a movie.
Yeah, that's you've
we're-
got post.
Yeah, post production is a
Yeah.
completely different story. I don't have to do really any work on post production.
That's what editors.
What
are
I
for.
do, that's right. I look at what the editors do, and I'm like, change this, change that. I don't know anything about making movies here. Fix it.
Nice. Nice. So I'm gonna have to take a 4-second interlude here. Are you making comments about editing? Do you
What?
want to be an editor?
No, that's Jackson.
Okay, good.
That was
All right,
Jackson.
that's
I
an
mean,
inside thing. We've had this little.
You
'cause-
said you wanted to move up, Rico.
Yeah, you said you wanted to move up. Don't knock
And I did.
editors,
I
or
did
you
move
will
up.
be an editor.
I am co-host. I moved up.
Amazingly, Scott C. Brown, who I mentioned before, who plays Leo in the Gamer series, and he played Strong Like Bull in Journey Quest Season 2. He didn't have a part in Journey Quest Season 3 because Strong Like Bull isn't in that season. So, I mean, I had to have him in the movie somehow, and I tried everything I could to get him on set. And it was harder than you can possibly imagine. And I'm like, God, what
To
do
just pencil somebody in.
I mean, he's my best friend, Like, I've tortured
make
this
that-
guy.
make that
I've been
do.
torturing this guy for 12 years and treating him like an inferior on screen. But I love the man like a brother, okay? And I had to have him somewhere in the movie, and there was just no place that I could put him. So he is editing. He's our editor for Journey Quest Season 3. He's living in London right now, editing this thing that I worked on and making it look amazing. So
Right
Wow.
on.
Wow.
Right on.
So that's kind of a huge deal because
really huge deal.
because you directed it and now your best friend's editing it.
Yeah.
So you're kind of
That's
putting
cool.
your baby in his hands
I wouldn't-
to come out the vision that you want to
honestly,
see.
yeah, I wouldn't trust it with anybody else. Like
Yeah,
the guy,
That's cool.
The guy knows me inside and out better than anybody, except for maybe Maggie at this point.
Nice.
I mean, I got to ask, any teasers, any previews about what's coming for us with Johnny?
Gosh,
Does he get the girl? Does he?
I am.
Oh, wait, he's off mic.
Yeah, I'm loath to give away anything because here's what I will say about Journey Quest Season 3. It's going to look different than anything that you've seen from Journey Quest before.
Okay.
The comedy is there. The script is funny. The actors are amazing. But in the style of Joss Whedon, it gets a lot darker.
Nice.
Okay, Caro, the priest that got turned undead in the first season.
Right.
Yeah.
Season 1, Season 2, he has bad days and bad
Right,
days
right,
and worse days,
right.
And that doesn't stop.
Wow.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah, no. I mean, Caro, who's this character that we love, plus he's like made a lot of girls turn into necrophiliacs because of how good looking he is, even as a zombie.
Putting the romance in necromancy.
Exactly.
Oh, well
Steve
played,
Jackson said that. Put it on a shirt. Did you know that?
No.
I wore that shirt in Darkness Rising.
Nice.
I put the romance in necromancy. Anyway, the big point is we still shit on Kara the entire film. Perf still runs away from things.
Yeah.
We have a different actress playing Nara this year.
Okay.
This season, excuse me. And I was scared to death about that because and Kennedy Brady, who plays Nara in the first 2 seasons, is not only a very dear friend of mine, but I've been pretending to be in love with her for 6 years.
Right.
Right.
I know what she's going to do. I can anticipate her.
And you're in.
And I'm in. Like we just work well with each other. And I had to, at the last moment, recast her because she was with child at the time and about
Sure.
and
Sure.
and doing all the stunts and being out in the woods for 15 days is not.
How are you going to do that?
Yeah, 20 miles from the nearest doctor is not
That is
probably
not a
the
thing.
smartest thing to do.
Yeah.
And she chose, not me. Like, we gave her the part. We hired a body double. I was doing everything in my power to have Ann Kennedy in this movie.
Right.
They said at the very beginning, the producers were like, we should probably recast because she's going to be 7 months pregnant. I'm like, nope, we can get a body double. I know exactly who we can use as the body double. She's a wonderful actress, too, so she can do all the stunts and stuff. I know she knows how to fight. And Ann was like, yeah, I'm on. And then she, thought about it after going on vacation.
Right.
For 5 days and realized, oh, God, I'm not okay. I can't do this. I'm in my 3rd trimester. This is silly.
This is not a thing.
So she called me and said, hey, look, I don't know what to tell you, but I can't do this, and I'm really sorry. And I'm like, oh, my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do?
Did you start to panic a little bit at that point?
The fans are going to
Yeah.
eat me. That's exactly what I thought. The fans are going to eat and
Because
kill me.
that's the other side of
Literally.
the coin of being nerd famous is you have to
because-
deal with nerd rage.
Yeah,
Right.
There is,
Right.
there is no rage like nerd rage.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
That's the
Yeah.
the razor.
Once they get mad and turn into trolls, you are done.
Do not feed the trolls.
Do not feed the trolls. And I had to recast her. So I found an actor who was physically very similar, and I knew that she could do the part because she was one of the main characters in Dark Dungeons.
Okay.
She played a part in Attacking the Darkness.
Oh.
And
oh.
and I saw her in this play, and she was phenomenal. And I was like, you know what? She would be a great body double for Anne. For this, so I went up and I talked to her. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing March, April? She's like, no, nothing. I don't have anything booked. And I'm like, I might have a job for you. It's a body double. There wouldn't be any lines or whatever. Anyway, once I found out I had to recast, I called her and I said, would you be interested in actually playing the part of Nara in season 3? And she was like, yes, I want to do this. This is great. And she took the part immediately, not realizing that the fans would eat her alive because she didn't realize how popular and
How
How beloved
entrenched.
this
and
character
how
was.
established this character is.
Right.
She's this elf who acts in an unlikable fashion, and yet the fans still like
Is
her.
there's
and
love
that's
there.
That's a really, really fine line to walk.
And, and then to play be the replacement.
and then to be
Good
the
luck.
replacement actor. So,
But she did such a good job of the whole I want to love you, but I can't because of what you're doing. And that's a very subtle thing to project. And
it's a very subtle thing to project, and that character has never said anything like that.
yeah.
So, in fact, the character of Nara in seasons 1 and 2 never really had any kind of emotional moments. You could tell that they were there, and you could tell that there were moments coming, and you could tell that something big was going to happen with her, and then to not be able to play that part and have this other actress step into their shoes. Think how scared she was.
Oh, I bet.
Once she realized what she had stepped into,
Then it was like, oh,
that oh my God, a whole lot of shit happens this season.
yeah.
Everything turns around. Everything is flipped upside down. It turns darker. Everybody has a breakdown of some kind, including Nara. And she had to step into this role at
And be
basically
that.
the climax of where the end of her rope was.
On the storyboard, it goes A, B, C, denouement. Well, that part right up there, the C,
Yeah,
is
and-
right where you're at.
And that's what Alyssa Kay had to do.
Wow.
Wow.
So, me being the person that I am, and Ben being the great producer that he is, flew Anne out for the first 4 days of filming to hang out with Alyssa and it wasn't like she was coaching her because
Right.
Alyssa had done her homework on Nara.
Oh, sure.
You know, she'd watched both seasons
I was
over
about
and
to
over
say
again.
both
She'd read the
seasons of
script.
homework.
Like she was, a lot of actors don't memorize their lines until the day of because we get sides that day, and it's just
and
easier to
you
do
make
that.
changes, and there's
Right.
this changes 9 times in 2
She
days.
she was off book for the whole script the first day. She was ready to do her stunts the first day.
Wow.
And the first scene that I had with her, I could not tell the difference. She was amazing.
Wow.
And I attribute that to not only her talent and her drive, but the fact that Anne was there to be like, hey, this is okay. You can do
That's
this.
cool. That's cool.
You know, she was there with us.
Oh, good deal. So she was still on set even though she
Yeah.
wasn't playing the part.
Yeah.
That probably helped her out a lot too, having the original there
Yeah,
to help
and-
tutor and give her that that confidence that she would need to go through this dark journey that's about to happen.
And I'll tell you what, people are going to love her. She killed it. She was so
That's
freaking
awesome.
good.
That's awesome.
I
can't wait.
Yeah, I was about to say, now I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to say about Journey Quest Season 3. Everything changes.
You heard it here.
Heard it here on
There it
Gaming
is.
with Scott first, ladies and gentlemen. Everything
No,
changes.
and I kind of halfway expected this, to be honest. I thought, as soon as he gets ownership over this, I think the story is going to go into a little bit of a darker world. I really did kind of feel that way.
I filmed it a little darker, and there's some wonderful new characters in it. And don't get me wrong, even though I say dark over and over again, it's still a comedy. This is still primarily a very, very funny, lighthearted.
Dude, dark comedy is some of the best comedy.
The thing is, it's not the comedy that's dark.
Right.
What it is these are real characters going through real situations and having to deal with those in a human way.
Yeah.
And that's what makes our movies good. Is because we're not just doing these caricatures of gaming characters.
Right.
We are doing these people are people.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're that are
Yeah.
playing
They
these
have
characters.
depth, and that's why we hire actors and not college kids like we used to.
Right. Because one of the things, and we got our chops busted by a couple people. We do a Marvel live play where we play Marvel superheroes, the old face rip system back from the 80s.
I want to play so bad.
I
I will do anything to play with you.
Seriously?
I love that system. Like I love.
Man,
Born.
we've been doing face rip for 2
2
years
years
solid.
running, right?
Yeah, no, I found a complete 3-box set.
Yes.
It had the
The
X-Men
Judge's
one.
Book.
It had the
Yes.
and it was all in a plastic bag, like a plastic Ziploc bag, at a comic book store for $12.
What a
Wow.
steal.
Winning.
It was such a
Winning.
steal. So
Yeah.
I got all that stuff at home, and I can't find anybody to play with me. So for God's sake, come and play Marvel Superheroes Face Rip with me.
We are a Skype call away.
There
Buddy.
it is. Yeah.
I was about to say, you guys have each other's numbers now, right?
And we
Yeah.
will. This is going to happen.
Like-
This is a thing. So we play a Marvel, and we're just starting up a Stargate game with a different group, and we're doing a whole thing. And people were like, "Well," and we've got this series is called Behind the Masks, okay? And it's where we take off the cowl and the cape, and we hang it up, and you talk to the people
You talk to
behind
the people, yep.
And people were like, "Well, you're a gaming podcast, and you run the game. Like, why do we want to hear the people?" Was what one or two people we got. They wanted to stick us for it, and this has been one of the most popular segments because they're like, well, we want to hear the people behind Dr. Wells, behind Guardian Angel. We want to know the people that motivate the characters. And when your characters are gaming characters, but they're people too, wow, the fans and audience really goes, wow, okay, they get behind that exact sentiment.
Yeah,
Exactly
and that's
you're
what kind
talking
of that's
about.
what kind of role player I am. As a gamer, and I've been a gamer my whole life. Since I was 12 years old. I didn't get into Dungeons and Dragons because I was young and
Too young.
it was the 80s.
There's
so
nothing wrong with that.
Right.
It's too
so
young.
if you pick up the Dungeons and Dragons, you're going to get a lot of crap if you come from an Anglo-Saxon Christian household.
You mean
And
by living in Indiana, we might know what you mean? Yes. Go ahead.
Right. So at that time, I was living in Ohio, which is almost the
Even
same
worse.
thing.
I was going to say something
Hey, it's
horrible.
a swing.
Go
it's
ahead.
a swing state.
It's a swing. Oh,
Right?
yeah.
No,
Just because the Buckeyes are assholes. doesn't mean-
Shots fired.
Take that.
Shots fired.
That was for my girlfriend Maggie. Go Blue.
Oh, woo! So Christian Doyle just got bleeped twice for those of you who might be listening at home because of a Buckeyes Michigan.
You
joke.
censor him, and the fury of Anonymous will descend upon you.
Yeah, we can make
Okay,
that
you
happen.
didn't get bleeped. Go ahead.
All
I'm
right.
just kidding.
No, it's okay. My girlfriend is a Michigan graduate, and her whole family
you
are
go.
big Michigan fans. And
Nice.
I don't give a crap about Michigan, but she does, so I say go Blue.
Oh well, then there it is. Then I understand it's true loyalty for what you do.
She's got an amazing behind, and I want to keep cuddling with her.
I know that motivation.
What is
man.
it about Butt Bongo that's just so addictive?
Look, she's like one of the most talented actors I know. She's one of the best teachers I know, and she's like the best person I know. So
Wow.
And that you were talking to a man who is a pure posterior man, so
Oh, yeah.
love.
Oh no, I love the top as much as the bottom on people, but
Sure.
her bottom is kind of
Phenomenal.
it's unparalleled. Like there's nothing else like it.
All right, well,
Stop,
It's
guys.
like the
that was
first-
an appropriate pause.
It's
Now
like
we can move on.
It's like the first Matrix.
Wow. Whoa. Boom. And that's not a mic drop. But you know what I mean.
No, those mics are expensive. I've never been allowed to drop them.
Do you need more bourbon?
I've always had to explain that. Like if you drop the mic, you've
Yeah.
never had to buy a
Yeah,
mic.
I always just hold my hand up and drop, but I'll keep the mic in the other hand.
Don't drop that. Please
Yeah.
don't drop it. Yeah.
One time I was at karaoke, and I'm actually I do musicals. I'm actually a professional singer as well, which you can't tell from the voice I've got right
Actually,
now.
We're getting you
your
Tony's
voice
going.
has
You're
gotten a
coming
lot
back.
better. Yeah.
But
You're coming back.
I've done a lot of things. I played Judas and Jesus Christ Superstar. I just got done doing the voice of the plant for Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
Feed me, Seymour.
That's right.
I would love to see you in Guys and
All
Dolls.
night long. So I did that for like 6 weeks. It was amazing.
Nice.
But I like went to a karaoke place and I was drunk, blackout drunk, sang a song, and did very well, just because I knew the song so well that it didn't matter how drunk I was.
Right.
And realized like there was a bubble machine, like they had a fan behind me, and the karaoke host took the fan, put bubbles, and like put the bubbles up to the fan, so there's bubbles flying around me.
That's
wow.
fantastic.
And
Whimsy.
and everybody who in the bar had like got up and started dancing. And at the end of the song, I just took the mic and I saw the karaoke DJ like get up and I
running at you. Set it on the
set
floor.
the mic down very gently and walked off the stage.
Nice.
I mean, I set it down on the floor.
Right. You saw him getting up like, no. That is phenomenal. That is.
So that's why he knows not to drop the mic.
Hey, I'm no. It's just that I've worked with microphones all my
Yeah,
life,
all
and
of
I
them.
understand that they cost a lot of freaking money.
And there it is. It's so good. It's just
I'm
full
glad we
circle
have
on
a guest
so many
that
things.
respects the equipment for the first time ever.
Yeah, for the first time, like we have grips that don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
respect the
it's
equipment,
not
right?
my stuff. I'm not going to break it. I'm not even going to touch it if I don't have to.
Sweet. Oh, so good on so many levels. You have no idea what it is. It's a professional thing. It's a Gestalt thing. It's a geek thing. That
Hell yeah.
so many levels. This works. You did good to bring him over to us.
Well, no, he
And-
did- he did
and
good,
you
but-
did good. Thank you for being here. By the way,
I was really happy to be here.
Yeah,
wanna
we
still
really
roll out.
appreciate you dealing with us nerds that run a little podcast. That's
Yeah.
super cool of you.
No, that's not it at all. I was so happy to even be asked. It's an honor.
I mean,
Thank
if
you
you
so
would
much.
call it that, it was kind of
He was much more articulate than that. CJ's bullshit you. He was really good about it. Super professional, and he asked somewhat timidly, thinking because I'm usually booked 12 hours a day.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, and that's why I'm going like, wow, he's still here.
Yeah,
that's so
and-
cool.
and-
Well, it was also when, because you're in the middle of an event, and I'm like, when else am I going to have access to him?
Right. And honestly, so yeah, I don't have to be anywhere until right freaking now.
Nice.
Oh.
So I should probably get going.
All
But,
Yeah. Well, thank you for
it was
the
a lot
hour
of
that
fun.
you gave us.
Yes,
This has been
thank
a
you very, very
fantastic
much.
hour.
It's wonderful. We are here with Christian Doyle, JC, Rico. This is Gaming with Scott. We are behind the masks, and as always, you'll hear from us real soon.
Bye.
Bye.
And that'll do us tonight for Gaming with Scott presents Behind the Masks, a Southgate Media production. You can always send us an email at gamingwscott@gmail.com or catch us on Twitter. Josh Elliott is at Asmodee369. Dan is at Malkware. Josh Jackson is at ActionJack853. And Rico is at R1CO. Or me, Scott T, at GamingWScott. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/GamingWScott. Remember, superfans, the more you share, the more we make. If you love what we do, share it with your friends. If you don't love what we do, please share it with us. This show will only be made better by listener participation. Send us email or comments on Facebook, or send us a tweet of the things you would like us to discuss. We promise we will get your comments and topics on the air, and as always, you'll hear from us real soon.